These are called so-called heuristic algorithms. They have a value to it. You don't spend too much time or energy in making a decision that's going to make only a marginal improvement. Okay. But why turn down a free lunch? Why? Because they're not in the habit of thinking. Now, they didn't do too bad. It's not about that. But take those people, put them into a job, they're not in the habit of thinking. Do you really think that they're going to survive the first year, even if they're lucky enough to actually get the job? No. Especially in this day and age of AI, I don't want people who could simply look stuff up for me. I can say, hey, Siri, and Siri is not that good, but, hey, whatever his name in Android or her name, they get the answer for me. In fact, when I do coding, sometimes I don't know how to do something. I go to ChatGPT and I say, write a VBA code in Excel for me that does the following. It does it. It's not necessarily exactly what I want, but I know enough programming to modify that and get where I want. 20 years ago, I actually had to learn all of that. It's not complicated, but you spend time on it. But it's more important to figure out what I want with it. I mean, I worked on this thing almost all winter break. I mean, there's even some other stuff. Let me actually show you one of them. It's not here, but when I pick the groups, this is the placeholder. Group pictures will also come and that sort of stuff. It's not complicated, but I spend more time on how it's going to look, how it's going to work. That's more important. Okay? Because I want to market this as a classroom management software. It has to be easy to use for someone who knows nothing about Excel. Okay? Actual coding actually probably took me less than 10 hours total because it's not that complicated. Sure, I've been coding all my life, but even if I had not, if I have some idea about coding, maybe it would have taken me a week to do it. That's it. Nothing complicated. It's not like I'm designing Google search algorithm or anything. Very simple stuff. But how it looks, how it functions, those are more important stuff. Let's say I was one of your professors and I actually taught you to do some of this stuff, and you did a little product and took to an interview. I mean, they're going to put a poster of you in there after hiring you with a big bonus. Okay. Does it mean that you're very good? No. It just means that you show them that you can think, you can follow that thought with a little product that can be useful to somebody. I had a student that I kind of had to shame into shape. This guy was very bright, but he wasn't performing well. Him being Chinese, you can shame those guys because they have this sense of honor and disappointment against family. I said, I'll talk to your mother. That's done the deal. And he got the highest paying job out of here about 10 years ago. He started at a boutique investment bank in Atlanta, $75,000 plus bonuses. Okay. This is EKU, and 10 years ago, that was real money. And do you know how he got it? He went, the guy who was doing the hiring was a graduate of EKU Finance in 1987, and he did MSF at Boston College. He saw that I had Boston College credentials, so he asked me to send him a student. I sent him only one student. All other professors they asked from Florida, Florida State, Georgia State, Kennesaw. They sent him 3, 5, 6, whatever. Later on, they took me out to dinner. And I said, "Why did you hire this loser?" And he said, A, you sent us only one guy. And B, he knew Excel and VBA. He knew almost crap about VBA. He knew less than what I'm going to teach you guys. It didn't matter. He could do some simple stuff and that solved their issues. He showed them he could actually think about problems and create solutions. That's all you need. Certain skills you may not have now, but you're going to learn how to learn them. That's my function. I'm going to teach you how to learn stuff. If you want to learn the facts, take an online class. Okay. Trust me, they let the McGraw Hill connect to the teaching for you. If that's what you want, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging one way or the other. But that's not going to get you anywhere in real life. You're not coming out of Harvard, okay? Even these days, coming out of Harvard is no guarantee of a good job either. You can get a good job, keeping it is a different thing. I fired people who came out of Harvard. I mean, I hired them because of their pedigree. And in the interview, they showed me that they had some brilliance, but they didn't have the ability to think and organize and implement solutions. Uh, I'm running a business here. I need those kinds of people. If all you're going to be is somebody, I tell you what to do and you do it, and trust me, ChatGPT has already took you out of that job anyway. So you need to get better. Now, just briefly, the last 25%, it's based on Jeopardy. Those of you who took my classes before, you know this. I have a little twist now, but it's not that different. I'm going to put you in groups of 4 or 3, depending upon the class number. Every Wednesday, Mondays are going to be market days, Wednesdays are Jeopardy days. We're going to play Jeopardy on the material that you had the at-home lecture on. 4 of the groups are going to be picked randomly. Let's say you 4 are those groups. And Kari goes first, and she says, may I have mixed chapter 9 for 300, please? And we're going to get the question. And Grant is a randomly chosen so-called designated challenger, which means once they give me the answer, they're going to tell me that the answer is D, I think. They're going to tell me that the answer is D. Grant's job is to verbally, or if he doesn't want to or cannot speak, using gestures to tell me he agrees. Okay. That means if they're right, he gets 1 point. If they're wrong, he gets 0. He disagrees. That means if they're wrong, he gets 1. If they're right, he gets 0. Disagreements, I know they're wrong, but either I don't know what the right answer is or I don't want to commit to a right answer. I don't want to make a fool of myself. All I know is they're wrong. Or, he's going to say, no, I'm going to challenge him. I don't know what would be gesture for them. Or, the answer is A, okay? If Grant is right, he gets 1.5 points, 50% bump. If he's wrong and the group is right, he actually gets negative half points. If they're both wrong, they get 0 points. Then the rest of you, except the designated challenger, is going to use a little Google form I have to do exactly the same thing, but silently on a computer. Again, now I can pull those into Excel and grade those immediately using formulas. But this semester, I'm also letting even the group that picked the question do the same thing for 2 reasons. One, after seeing your challenge, they may realize, oh no, we were wrong. I give them a chance, or I give Kari a chance to change her mind. Or Kari is in this group of 4. She kind of acquiesced for whatever reasons, but she thinks the group is wrong. She can challenge her own group if she wants to. Okay. The questions you answer as a group counts 4 times as much compared to silent challenger. The questions you answer as designated challenger 3 times as much, because rest of you guys work with 2 pieces of information. Plus, this is not an exam. I allow you guys to talk to each other, except to the group, because I'm not German, but I'm a big follower of Schadenfreude. Only Germans could come up with one word for getting pleasure out of the misery of others, which is what Schadenfreude means. Uh, Only Norwegians are better in those compound words. These guys have one word for Easter crime mysteries. It's called Paskrim. Posakrim, yeah. I mean, how do you come up with one word for that? Anyway, they have one word for the sun that comes out during the summer at midnight. Midnight sun, midsummer. Yeah. Anyway, uh, and the group, when I'm evaluating the groups, those numbers matter. It's like Jeopardy. If you get it right, you get 300. I call them geos. If you get it wrong, you get negative 300. The group that wins that day's tournament gets their points multiplied by 1.25. So if you answered 5 questions, you got them all right. That's 5, right? If you won, that's going to be 625. But it counts 4 times as much, so you effectively got 25 out of 20 for that day, not counting what you did on the silent thing. That gets you another 5, so you got 30 out of 25. Even in basic finance classes, the average class has an average of around 80% on this activity. I had students who scored as high as 115%. So it's a good way to actually put up points. But more importantly, Jeopardy is not about I give you a question and you give me an answer. Once the right answer is revealed, we actually have a discussion. In fact, this year I'm going to even rate that discussion. I'm going to ask Kari, why did you tell me that the answer was D? Okay, it's like as if it's a participation question. And I can ask somebody else the same question. Maybe Grant challenged it. I'm going to ask, why did you challenge with that? Explain me your reasoning. Or you could volunteer. This is an in-class activity where we freely think about problems. Again, you being right or wrong, yes, that gets you or loses you grade points. In and of itself, that doesn't mean crap. We want to think about stuff. I mean, I kind of did a little experiment. In fact, I'm going to write that paper this semester. Last fall, I had 2 sections of Business 302. In one section, I used Jeopardy. In the other section, I didn't. The section that I used in Jeopardy did much, much better in the exams and online courses. QED, as the mathematicians would call it, which is short for Quaderat Demonstrandum, Latin for as was to be shown. All right, I'll see you guys Monday. Again, if you're not happy with your picture or you don't have one, please send me a JPEG. Otherwise, you're at my mercy for the cartoon character. Oh, if you have 4 people that you want to work with, let me know so that I can put you guys in those groups. You didn't go with the team? They told me that tennis team had to be away.
Huh?
I had a student in my earlier class.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't come because tennis team was away.
Yeah, they're playing, but I'm.
Are you injured?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Just let me stop this.